This protagonist is seriously insane. On paper, he barely scraped past the entrance exam, ranking near the very bottom. Yet on his first day as a transfer student, he suddenly turned into the top student of the entire academy, breaking the all-time record for becoming a 7-star. But here's the twist. Everything you just heard is a lie. In truth, he's still a complete failure. What nobody knows is that he stole someone else's identity, because the protagonist is actually a master con artist. Setup: the school system. At this academy, every student's strength and status are measured in stars. Through specific duels, students can win or lose these stars. Some duels are as simple as a staring contest. 2 people lock eyes and whoever laughs first loses. But there's more. Here, duels also involve special abilities, and at the very top of the academy stands the rare title, 7-star. First encounter. This morning, our protagonist, let's call him Adrian Cross, arrived at his new school as a transfer. But before he could even find his way, he got lost. Just then, a student passed by. Adrian called out, but the moment he saw her, he was stunned. Her looks, her figure, everything was exactly his type. And strangely, he felt as if he'd seen her somewhere before. The girl, Celeste Arwen, noticed his intense stare and grew slightly embarrassed. When she tried to leave, Adrian snapped back to reality and quickly admitted he was lost. To his relief, Celeste didn't overthink it. Not only did she give him clear directions, she even offered to walk him there, just in case he still couldn't figure out the way. The duel begins. 2.5 minutes later, the school bell rang. Celeste suddenly remembered the opening ceremony was about to begin. She was about to part ways when the nearby sprinkler system activated. In an instant, Celeste was soaked to the bone. The air turned heavy. She began to suspect maybe this wasn't an accident. Maybe Adrian planned everything. After all, from the start, his behavior was suspicious. And wasn't this path under construction? Yet he just happened to wander here. But Adrian pointed out something else. With her clothes wet, her curves were now on full display. Celeste wasn't amused. Instead, she challenged Adrian to a duel. Adrian realized quickly this girl was sharp. No matter what he said, she wouldn't believe him. He accepted her challenge. But Celeste froze for a moment because Adrian didn't even know how to apply for a duel. To her, it was common sense. Every student knew the lower-ranked party had to submit the request. After fumbling for a while, Adrian finally figured it out. But what shocked her next? Adrian didn't even set a duel condition. To Celeste, it felt like he was saying, no matter what the rules, I'll win anyway. Infuriated, Celeste set the duel herself. The duel began. The duel type, staring contest, advanced version. In this version, it wasn't just about laughing. Any expression, joy, anger, fear, sadness, meant instant defeat. The duel was turn-based. Whoever's turn it was became the attacker and had 1 minute to force the opponent into an expression. After that, roles swapped. But Celeste had an ability, and she activated it immediately. Her skill reduced Adrian's turn from 1 minute to just 6 seconds. Her turn remained a full minute. Before Adrian could even process what happened, his turn ended. Celeste then pulled out her weapon, a massive greatsword. One of her abilities allowed her to summon illusions of weapons. Her goal was simple. No one can stay calm staring at a gleaming blade. While she pressured him, Adrian noticed the crowd growing. Dozens of students now watched the duel. But Celeste had another thought. As she fought, her soaked clothes began drying from the heat of battle. At least she wouldn't attend the opening ceremony dripping wet. Unfortunately, the sprinkler system activated again. She was drenched a second time. This time, she panicked. Celeste was actually the school's opening ceremony speaker. Soon she'd be standing in front of everyone. Now, after being soaked twice in public, she was humiliated. And in that humiliation, she realized this was Adrian's plan all along. Not to tire her out, not to scare her, but to make her feel shame. From the very start, she had already fallen into his trap. The duel ended. Adrian won. As the crowd buzzed with shock, Adrian was suddenly summoned by the headmaster. But the headmaster wasn't there to congratulate him. Instead, he said Adrian had broken a dangerous taboo. The girl he defeated, Celeste Arwen, wasn't anyone. She was known across the academy as the Empress. She held the all-time highest entrance exam score. She was the only 7-star in the entire academy, and since admission, she had never lost a single duel. Worse, she was the granddaughter of the academy's founder, a billionaire who built the entire institution. For Adrian, beating her was a death sentence. Expulsion would be the best outcome. If the family's pride was hurt, anything could happen. But the headmaster gave him an option. If Adrian could truly become a real 7-star, then the Empress's defeat would be acceptable. Adrian almost laughed. He wasn't just weak. The only star he had was the one he just stole from Celeste. But the headmaster revealed the truth. The star Adrian took wasn't ordinary. It was one of the Academy's special stars. Its ability? The power to turn any lie into reality. meaning Adrian could literally lie his way into being a 7-star. This star had always been guarded by the Arwen family. Few knew its true effect. The headmaster knew only because he had once possessed it himself. He pressured Adrian further, reminding him that he had a secret personal mission at this academy. If he gave up now, he'd never achieve his goal. Adrian's heart broke. He felt manipulated, but in the end, he had no choice but to agree. The fake 7-star. That same day, Adrian became the new fake 7-star. At the opening ceremony, he stood as Celeste's replacement, confident and untouchable. In front of the entire school, he declared boldly, "For the next 2.5 years, every single one of you will become my stepping stone. Whether you're a rich Harris or a monster hiding in the shadows, I will never surrender my 7-star throne. If you don't like it, challenge me, but don't cry when I crush you." The audience was stunned, silent. Even the headmaster was impressed. Adrian had the aura of a professional fraud, separating his inner fear completely from his outward confidence. But after the ceremony, something unexpected happened. Celeste dragged Adrian into a back alley. She confronted him. "You're faking it. You replaced me as 7-star. But why didn't you expose me? Are you saving it for a bigger stage to humiliate me completely?" Adrian had no idea what she meant. And then Celeste revealed the truth. She wasn't the real Celeste Arwen. She was only a stand-in. A year ago, she had stolen a special star, the very one Adrian now held. That star had allowed her to lie her way into being the Empress. In reality, she was just a weak, bottom-ranked student with 1 star. The moment Adrian defeated her, her lies collapsed. That's why she panicked, because now Adrian knew her truth. Adrian froze. If she wasn't the real Empress, then he hadn't provoked the billionaire family at all, meaning he never needed to pretend to be a 7-star in the first place. But it was too late. At the opening ceremony, he had already made enemies of the entire academy. Now, whether he liked it or not, he had to keep the charade going. And so, the master con artist Adrian Cross, with nothing but lies and tricks, began his life as the fake 7-star.